Monday, at the break of dawn. It's just a typical day at the office for many. I'm here at Paya Lebar Air Base and we're about to witness firsthand the RSAF pilots in action. For pilot Major Iskandar, it's a day of force preparation. His duty? To lead a formation of F-15SG pilots who guard our skies.
There's no typical day. Every day is different. One day you can be planned to fly, another day you're planned to do training simulator sortie. You can also be doing physical training, or another day you are writing strategic papers.
Major Muhammad Iskandar is an F-15SG pilot from the Republic of Singapore Air Force. He is an experienced fighter pilot who has once led over 70 aircraft from the Royal Thai Air Force, the United States Air Force and the RSAF to successfully complete a large force mission.
Passion for flying really started with my parents, especially my dad. He wanted to join the Air Force in the 1960s, never had a chance. Growing up, many people have said, it's difficult to become a pilot. There are always, naysayers along the way.
A junior aircrew in the F-15SG community, Captain Nicholas Goh stays hungry for every mission as each is a learning opportunity to hone his tactical skills, the foundation blocks to becoming more proficient and lethal in the cockpit. His passion jump-started this once lofty childhood dream into a rewarding career, but it is his diligence and resilience that will propel him to greater heights.
For me personally, growing up, I think my parents screened Top Gun a few times, and that inspired me to want to work around fighter aircraft and also in them, which pushed me to pursue a career as a aircrew. I used to be quite mischievous in school, so I think my close family members didn't think that I would function in a work environment which is a little more authoritative.
But little do these pilots know that their readiness will be put to the ultimate test.
Unidentified aircraft, you are currently approaching Singapore airspace. Please sound your intentions.
The RSAF's early detection systems such as ground sensors and the Gulfstream G550 airborne early warning aircraft have identified what is described as a bogey, an unidentified flying object approaching our country's airspace.
Have we confirmed a position?
Unidentified aircraft is positioned bearing 090, inbound, 300 knots and closing in.
Is there any response from the pilot?
Negative, ma'am, no response.
With little to no information about the intentions of the bogey, the RSAF scrambles its aircrew and ground crew immediately to launch the fighters in response to the potential threat.
Let's scramble the jets.
Griffin to scramble. I repeat, Griffin to scramble. Over.
Usually when we do scramble, it could be a aircraft threat. We will look to intercept the aircraft, identify the aircraft, and make communications with them and state our intentions for the aircraft.
This operation also involves RSAF personnel of different vocations, such as ground crew, Air Force engineers, command and control personnel, all working seamlessly together to get the aircraft in the air.
So when the call comes in, the operations officer and the squadron will scramble and the fighters on standby. As an aircrew, we will run to the aircraft, start up the aircraft, and take off as fast as we can. The greatest challenge for all aircrew, or fighter aircrew, is that it takes many years to train and develop a competent fighter aircrew.
The engineers also play a vital role in getting the aircraft in the air. While the F-15SG's pilots start their engines and conduct their initial pre-flight checks, the engineers ensure that the planes are fueled, all external control surfaces are functioning, and their weapons are properly attached.
Griffin, Paya Lebar Tower, clear, takeoff runway 02.
Clear for takeoff, runway 02, Griffin.
Within a matter of minutes, the pilots get their F-15SGs up in the air and make their way towards the bogey.
Control, Griffin, intercepting bogey.
Griffin, control, copy, over.
Once we are airborne, it really depends on the kind of threat that is presented to us. Air traffic controller will advise us on what that threat is and the appropriate response to take.
The F-15SG is a multi-role fighter aircraft. Piloted by 2 crew members, it can carry a wide range of weapons from short to medium-range air-to-air missiles for airborne targets, as well as laser-guided bombs for the accurate elimination of ground force targets. It is powered by 2 turbofan jet engines that give it a top speed of Mach 2.5, or 2.5 times the speed of sound. Traveling at almost 3,000 kilometers per hour, the aircraft is able to then intercept a fast-flying enemy aircraft.
Control, we are fast approaching the bogey. Griffin, roger.
The tactical fighter aircraft is equipped with radar, with air-to-air and air-to-surface capabilities which detect, identify and engage targets over long distances. Paired with its joint helmet-mounted cueing system that feeds targeting information into the pilot's line of sight through his helmet, it's no wonder the F-15SG is one of the world's most lethal fighters, ready to take on any threat with ease.
Unidentified aircraft, you are approaching Singapore airspace. State your intentions. I repeat, state your intentions. Control, Griffin, we have no response. Griffin, roger. Reconfirm radar contact with the bogey.
But there seems to be a problem. The RSAF pilots are trying to establish contact with the unidentified aircraft with the aim of understanding the aircraft's true intentions.
We will look to intercept them, and we will establish radio comms with them and let them know that they're in Singapore airspace. And we will look to either escort them out of the airspace or they will face a response from us. So as a weasel fighter, my job is to back him up with sensors to build his situational awareness of all the air-to-air threats.
You know, there are many challenges when we scramble. Time is one factor. The appropriate response required for that particular threat is also a challenge.
I would say every mission has its own unique set of problems and challenges that we need to face. So being able to adapt to every mission's different requirements.
The pilots must be prepared for any type of scenario. For Major Iskandar and Captain Nicholas, it's a test of their skills and decision making.
Every time someone says that you can't do something, I take it upon myself to prove them wrong and to achieve what I think, what my dreams and passions are. I use that as fuel to do better.
I find myself wanting to bring more out of every mission. I would want to be the weasel fighter that every single pilot would want to fly with.
Griffin, can we reconfirm radio contact? Over. Unidentified aircraft, you have been intercepted by RSAF fighters.
This is Echo 247. I've lost navigation and I'm sure of my current position.
Contact established. Now that the RSAF has deemed the pilot's intentions as a non-threat to Singapore, the RSAF pilots can now escort the aircraft back for further investigations.
Copy Echo 247. We'll escort you back for landing. You are to comply with all instructions.
Echo 247, roger that.
It all boils down to training and preparation. You know, years of training ensure that we are always ready to overcome any form of threats. So the moment the button is pressed, it all comes naturally.
It's mission success. Our fighters ensured that the bogey was no threat to Singapore and safely escorted the plane to land for further investigations. That was a close call. For Major Iskandar and Captain Nicholas, this mission is a milestone in their career because successfully leading their team in the mission gives them even more confidence to take on tougher scenarios.
I'm only playing a small part in this entire defense ecosystem of Singapore. In terms of the squadron, our fighter squadrons maintain a high level of readiness to ensure the security of our skies and to ensure the defense of our country and our people and our way of life.
I found a sense of belonging being in a fighter squadron. The fighter squadron feels to me like an extended family. The role of this squadron would be to safeguard Singapore's skies, and when the time calls for it, to ensure that we always keep our skies safe.
Day or night, the RSAF plays a vital role in keeping the peace in our skies. But for Major Iskandar and Captain Nicholas, it's just another day in the office.